Two. I get that when you say this is where earnings would be.
Shares. Look, I don't like they're complaining either. I think they're just setting up for a possible if they don't meet expectations, yada yada yada. Their shares jumped 76% last year, right? Did
Yeah.
fantastic. After they reported these earnings, their stock was down 1.83%. Um, Buying opportunity?
Is Foxconn available to buy for U.S. shareholders?
I was assuming so. I didn't
I don't
even look
think
it
it
up.
is. I
No,
don't think because
really.
you cannot buy direct shares of Chinese companies, which is another thing that I was wrong about with all the ADRs in China a couple of years ago.
So is it through the Hong Kong and the Caribbean like we've seen other ones?
if Foxconn is available, that's
The
how it would.
Foxconn technology is FXCOF.
Okay.
That's the ticker symbol. Yeah, that's not right. No.
I mean, I'm not touching anything China related ever again.
Gotcha. You're not a bull in a china shop?
No, thanks for
Gotcha.
bringing that up. Hey, I got four baggers right now, okay? Two of them, two four baggers, General Electric and Meta, where I've made more than four times my money since that China thing. So
Gotcha.
I got some good things, right? That
There you go.
have
All right.
done.
All right. All right. Let's move on. Next article. These are going to be hit rapid fire here, buddy. TikTok is building a new version of the app ahead of expected U.S. sale. This came out just today at 12:31 p.m. on the Reuters Newswire. TikTok is building a new version of its app for the United States, just for the United States, as they plan to sell this to a group of investors. This comes as U.S. President Donald Trump said on Friday he's going to start talking to China on Monday or Tuesday about the possible deal. TikTok has developed a plan to launch a new app in app stores on September 5th. So they do have a deadline, they have a date. The report added that TikTok users will eventually have to download the new app to be able to continue using the service, although the existing app will work until March of next year, though the timeline could change. They did not immediately respond to a Reuters request for comment on this news, even though a deal has been in the works and off in the works and in the works and off in the works, off and on for a while now. This is now that they have a deadline in sight, this seems to be a sealed deal.
Okay. I wonder. We don't know who they're going to sell to though.
Yeah, I don't know the names. I don't know who they're going to sell to. I don't know if there's going to be a new stock just for this company or if it's private or what. I don't know the deals of this.
I mean, it's a new bullish case in my opinion for Meta.
Really?
Oh yeah, for with Reels and all that. Yeah, they'll pick up market share over all this craziness.
Hmm. I figured that TikTok would stay in charge and it's just a newer app that Americans have to switch to,
We'll see. I mean, it's another frustrating thing for people who use TikTok.
right?
So
All right, man. Last one, actually, we're going to have a little more talk about because last time I reported on this commodity, I reported it was it was right at the Sunday after the Israel Iran war started, current war started, and oil was jumping up. And I said it wouldn't stay up. It was going to rise for one day, maybe 2 or 3 days, and then it was going to come back down. It was not going to stay up. And I was correct. And I believe I'm going to read into this article here. There's a lot of articles out about the output levels from OPEC over this past weekend, what they agreed to. But this comes at all this oil news from a different angle, and I like the angle of this article. This headline reads Oil falls as Iran affirms commitment to the nuclear treaty. This came out July 4th. Iran has reaffirmed the commitment to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. If you don't know what that is, it was a treaty that was signed by over almost 120 countries, somewhere around there, 108, somewhere around there, around the world, all signed this treaty and agreed to certain rules when it comes to nuclear power. Oil futures fell slightly on Friday after Iran reaffirmed its commitment to this nuclear non-proliferation. At the exact same time, OPEC Plus group set they raised their output this weekend, so they all came to an agreement that they're going to raise the output by over 500,000 barrels per day. They were doing that because inventories around the world seem to be lower overall, except the United States. Current administration has a drill baby drill, quote unquote. That's the quote unquote plan from the current administration, so they are drilling. U.S. news website Axios reported on Thursday that the United States was planning to meet with Iran next week to restart nuclear talks. Iran Foreign Minister Abbas Araki said that Tehran remained committed to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. So, with all this, U.S. imposed fresh sanctions targeting Iran's oil trade on Thursday, which is another reason why Iran came out and made this statement. The Saudi Arabian defense minister, Prince Khalid bin Salman, met with President Trump and other officials at the White House to discuss de-escalation efforts with Iran. Trump also said on Thursday that he would meet with representatives of Iran if necessary. So all this was on Thursday. Friday, OPEC Plus says that they're going to go ahead and keep pumping out over 500,000 more barrels a day. Iran on Friday says that, hey, we're going to go ahead and we're going to stay with the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. All these things are causing oil to drop in price, which is a good thing for the consumer. So that's going to make the everyday consumer have more money in the pocket because the price of a gallon of gas is going to be lower.
Okay.
Do you think a couple questions here? I believe that Trump is really pushing this angle as a way to keep the economy moving at a higher level, which is what he needs in order for the numbers he throws out there to come true. Needs a positive economy, can't have a recession, need positive GDP growth. This would do it. So in making these moves, it is positive in that regard. Barclays came out, said that it raised its Brent oil price forecast by $6 to 72 a barrel for 2025 and by $10 to 70 a barrel for 2026. So they actually lowered the long-term cost per barrel of oil to 70. It's currently in the 60s and it may drop even lower. First thoughts, Brandon.
Oh man, I've been focused a lot in the energy sector, but it hasn't been on oil. It's been a lot on natural gas and nuclear. Um, I I'm not long term. I'm not a long term bull on oil still. I just think there's too many headwinds. Electrification of the globe. I think that even natural gas usage is going to go down over the
You,
course of history.
every single oil CEO has said electrification is not going to matter when it comes to them doing business and selling oil.
Why?
BP, Conoco, Exxon all said the
So,
same
I mean,
thing.
if we get to a point where every vehicle on the road is electric,
They said it won't matter.
how?
Use oil in so many things.
No, I mean, but the majority of oil is being used
Because
by
airplanes,
transportation.
we are decades away from getting an airplane to fly without oil.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
Decades.
where are you going to get the growth to supplement the fact that you lost all the cars on the road?
Because one airplane flying around is worth I don't know how many cars.
I don't know. I don't believe what CEOs tell me.
Semis, semis.
I don't. I mean, I maybe you might be right.
So oil stocks before July 4th. So on July 3rd, when they ended their trading days, they were somewhat greenish. Exxon is about 112. It's been hanging around between 110 and 120 for almost a year now. Uh, it. I mean, they're all going to drop on this news. This is
I would
this
think
is
so.
news. This is news that's going to make them drop. This is a bear news for the oil companies such as Exxon, Conoco, Chevron, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I was surprised by the way that the reaction at the price at the pump was very muted. I mean, it didn't go up that high on the
You mean
Iran.
down?
No, I mean on the Iran and Israel
Oh yeah.
when they were going to war. I mean, I didn't
I,
really
kn-
see
I knew it wouldn't. I knew it wouldn't. I was confident. I didn't see any reason for it to. Iran needs to sell oil to fund its government. Um, Israel is not a big oil producer, and the other countries were pretty much staying out of it.
okay.
Iraq, Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia, all those
They didn't want
countries
anything
were
to do
just
with it.
staying out of it.
Right.
So with nobody else getting involved and nobody else needed to get involved, it was really a muted reaction, which is what I saw coming. It's
The
what I
Saudis
thought
don't
would
like
happen.
the Saudis don't like the Iranians anyways. It's a complete split between Shia and Sunni
Yes.
Islam. So
Well, those are my headlines I have. The only other news I have, because there wasn't much earnings calls this week that I saw. I did see one company coming out before the bell on Thursday that
I've
I
got a
wanted to
headline
mention.
for you.
Oh, headline for me. Nice.
Yeah.
How the
And
turntables have turned.
I'm glad you reminded me of this talking about energy. Google revealed a multifaceted strategic partnership with a company called Commonwealth Fusion Systems. This is a Bill Gates backed startup. And fusion energy is what a lot of analysts are saying going to be the future. Essentially, what this is I don't know the science behind it. I've read it and I understand it what I do understand for like a second and then it leaves my brain because I'm not scientifically minded. But fusion energy essentially is the way the sun creates energy. And if they're able to use fusion energy, what it will be, what they say it will be, an infinite source of energy. And there's companies like Commonwealth Fusion Systems that are working on this. And they say that this is no longer some sort of abject theory. It is now going to be a reality within the next decade. Um, Google has now committed to purchasing 200 megawatts of electricity from CFS, Commonwealth Fusion Systems. That is enough to power 75,000 homes. So, my
Or like
headline,
a tenth of a data center.
probably. So they've been an investor since 2021. They've increased their financial stake in this company. They clearly believe in it. Microsoft has made deals with Helion, I think, for like 50 megawatts, so a fraction. But clearly, you're getting Google and Microsoft and these big players from the Magnificent Seven saying, hey, we want to be a part of this. So for you, what do you think? I mean, fusion energy. I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm trying to find a public company that engages in this development and thinking, maybe it's an investment opportunity. There's not a public company that is directly related to fusion energy yet, but
Well, there
what are
is
your thoughts?
this one. This one.
Well, it's Google, but Commonwealth Fusion Systems is not publicly traded yet.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, I mean, it's a good thing I own Google stock then, right?
yeah, absolutely.
That would be the way to play it. That would be the way to go. I haven't heard too much on Fusion front. Every now and then you hear news about, we're working on this fusion, working on that fusion throughout you'll see a headline here and there throughout the years, but nobody's really come out in a while and saying, hey, we're pushing forward this. We created a whole company just to do this. It's interesting because I hear of all these different companies that are created to move things forward, and a lot of them are like NNE. I don't believe in NNE. That's nano nuclear energy. I don't believe in that. I think that's a bust. But then there's other good companies, GE Vernova, that has nuclear energy. So is fusion energy next on the line? And is this company for real? It seems like it. They have a good backer
Yeah.
in
I mean,
Google. So
it sounds like it. I mean,
and Bill Gates started the company, so it seems like this is a good way to do it. Google would be a good way to play if you can't buy the company directly.
yeah, and they've also invested in another company called TAE Technologies with this fusion energy. So, I mean,
Nice.
if they're right, this could be the story of energy for the next, in the
It
next
could
10
be.
years.
Could
Absolutely.
be. Fusion could be the way we go when power spacecrafts to Mars. So there you
We'll
go.
see. Yeah.
Elon Musk pushing to Mars. Remember that.
I don't want to live there.
You don't have to, Brandon. You have to be accepted. I don't think they would accept you.
I don't want to be accepted. I don't want to go to
I,
Mars.
I don't think they're going to accept you, Brandon. You got to apply to be accepted. All right. Anyways,
I mean,
Move.
why would I want to? I could just go to Arizona if I want to live in crazy heat.
It's it's not heat. It's actually, isn't it colder on
I
Mars?
don't know. I don't know.
I believe it's colder. Yeah.
It
So
might
it's
be.
just desert looking, but I believe it's colder. All right. The only earnings I saw coming up this week that was of interest at all to me was Delta. Delta was reporting Thursday before the bell. That was the only earnings I saw. So
United.
interesting.
I think United's at a better valuation right now.
Final thought,
I think
Brandon.
if you were buying Delta, you would have bought it when Nick Young was saying to buy it on the show
Yes.
a month ago.
Final thought.
Yeah, don't react to things right away. Hold your cards close to your chest. You know, if you see something like the ADP report come out, that's just something to keep an eye out for. And I don't want to discount the ADP report. A lot of the, BLS data was driven by government increases in employment. That's not good. So the private employment was kind of weak, and I think the Federal Reserve should lower interest rates in July this month. But at the same time, it was no reason to sell off all your stocks, and a lot of people did. Man, the market took a dump that day.
Yeah, people reacting instead of staying calm.
Yeah,
Um, my final thought is congratulations to Nick Young. He's a contributor on the show. Him and his wife just welcomed in their second child into this fantastic blue world. So
congratulations.
congratulations. I hope set up a trust fund, right? Yeah, get your trust fund rolling now.
Right?
That way, by the time they're 18, they'll have $1 million and it'll be worth like 100,000 because of inflation. So there you go. Joking, joking, joking. No, yes, coming up this week, watch the news. The Fed should, I agree with you, do a rate cut this month. We'll see if they do.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, that's it. Thanks for listening. Hit the subscribe button. As always, we hope we've been entertaining, educational, and uplifting because we want everyone to make money. Have a good night.
Have a good night.